What's up, everybody? This is Alex here, back with another Greenleaf podcast. I've got my co-host here. I got Miss Mads Threads in the house.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
I'm also here with Sauce.
Yo, what's up, guys?
And we've got J-Rock on production back there. He's the best in the business, y'all. And today, you're here for a special treat. We're here to talk about the magical, game-changing, electric boss babe, Elizabeth. Not only is this woman a powerful mystic, but she's also our local crystal dealer. And no, we're not talking about drugs. We're talking about geodes.
Yes.
Let's welcome Miss Elizabeth. Thanks for coming.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me. Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Hello.
All right. So tell us a little bit more about yourself. Tell us about you and your business. What do you do here?
Yes, so I have a crystal shop downtown New Braunfels, and it's called the Empress, and I sell a lot of crystals, but we also have a lot of other metaphysical tools. So I started my business 5 years ago as Altar Space, and it's evolved, and I've had the storefront as the Empress because we have tarot decks, we have books, we have bracelets, we have stickers from local artists, and we have a full apothecary line.
Yeah, I've been there, and this place is incredible, y'all.
There's a lot to look at there.
I got a chance to check it out for the first time yesterday. Super, super pretty.
It's
Thank
like
you.
almost floor to ceiling.
I got this
Yeah.
bracelet.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's getting physical, y'all. Metaphysical. All right, so what were you doing 6 years ago? Were you living here?
So I moved to Texas 6 years ago from Seattle, Washington.
Ooh, what brought you
And
here?
So I was finding my way in Seattle and ended up taking a life coach training while I was there. And
Interesting.
they said, like, your whole life is going to change from this class. And I'm like, okay, yeah, we'll see. And I just really want to incorporate that into my life because I was really already doing that in the community there and wanted to learn some different methods and how I can make it better and figure out how to make a living doing what I loved. And so the way that my life changed from that training was that a woman had come in and said that a psychic told her to go to this class. And so, of course, I'm very curious, like, who is this psychic? I want to talk to her. And so I had a reading with this psychic who's the traveling intuitive, and she, I believe, is in Chicago right now. And I only met her once in person, but we've done all our readings on the phone. And this call was so powerful, so impactful that I did indeed change my life. And I moved across the country. She said I would move to Austin, and I originally did, and then I found my way to New Braunfels. But she said I would open an apothecary.
Really?
And
That's incredible.
So would you recommend everybody to kind of maybe try out a psychic and maybe go down that route and see?
Not necessarily. I think that life is supposed to be a mystery, right? And it is anyways, because we have free will. I could have said no. I could have stayed in Seattle and had a completely different life right now. But I do think that there's a time where having a little bit of like outside perspective, I feel like she saw into my soul and saw what my true dreams were, that I wasn't manifesting out of fear or thought I couldn't do it. And so I moved to Austin, ended up living at an herbal school and doing an apprenticeship, trying to see, like, is this really like what I want to do?
What consists of an herbal school? I'm a little ignorant on that. What is that?
Sure, there's certified schools where you can learn herbalism, and it's a 2-year program. It's very intensive, so it's you learn all about the healing properties, but also so much more. They make tinctures, they make salves, they make really healing.
So kind of like what we do here.
Yeah.
So like they had dorms there for y'all to live in? Is that what?
No, they actually had, this
Like
was all
rooms?
divine synchronicities because they were actually renting out one unit at the space, and I saw that listed available. And I ended up finding a job way out in the country. So,
okay.
So I ended up renting this, doing their apprenticeship program, and realized that I want to build up my own apothecary. And like, I love herbs, and I've been really using them in tea blends for a lot longer than I had realized.
Yeah.
But I also learned that that's not what I wanted to do full time. I realized that I've been working with crystals since I was about 7 years old, and I wanted to sell crystals. I just wanted to spread those out to the world. I had no intent of it getting to the place where it is now. I saw the dream, I heard the dream she brought from within me, and the psychic, but I really didn't know if it was going to truly manifest. But made the decision to go and buy crystals at a gem show. And it was just kind of a fluke that I had this extra money to go invest in the business. So I started the business with $700, and I've just been self-funded and rolling it over. And
if you had any anyone like help you along the line? Has anyone been like supportive, like family, friends, and stuff like that, or?
I have definitely had a lot of supportive people in my life. I think at first people were kind of hesitant or didn't take it seriously. I still had a full-time job at the time that I ended up losing about 6 months into starting my business on the side. And I know that that also was just that timing, that cosmic timing of like I was supposed to let that go and really put everything into my business, into altar space. I had at that time just done a Reiki training to become a Reiki master. And so your energetic field shifts a lot and it raises your vibration. So anything.
What's
Yeah, I was
Reiki?
gonna
What is
say,
Reiki?
yeah,
What's
so
Reiki?
anybody in the spiritual community.
Just because from my point of view, I'm not sure what that is, so I'm pretty sure our viewers would love to know, like what's Reiki? I'm not sure.
Absolutely. So it's a energy healing modality. So it's a way to heal people with divine energy. So it flows through the crown chakra, out the palms of your hands, and it's just energy. So you don't even have to touch your client. It's just a frequency. And you really could take a class. Anyone could go and learn that. You have to get an attunement to be open to the frequency. But you do use crystals in this healing modality, or you can. So I thought it went along the lines of my business. If it sounds kind of mysterious, that's because it kind of is.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's
If you
meant to be, right?
understanding, I think if you break it down as simple as understanding everything is energy, everything. Everything's energy. You can manipulate energy, you can work with energy, you can cleanse energy. That's what pretty much all of these modalities do. Herbalism, your crystals, Reiki healing, it's all working with the energy, correct?
Yes, and energy doesn't go away. So you can manipulate energy to go in a different direction. Like for one of the biggest ways I did that in my life was I changed my life completely around about 13 years ago, and I had a lot of energy going through my body. I didn't know what to do with that energy. So I had an alcohol addiction, and so I've been sober ever since that, like about 13 years ago. And I needed to figure out like how to channel that energy into something good, make it something valuable. So I
I
started.
love that you said that. I love that you said that like you had so much in you that you didn't know what to do with it, that you felt like almost drowning and suppressing that. And maybe a lot of people who suffer with addictions or issues where they're trying to drown out that pain in different ways that not so healthy for yourself. It's probably something to do with more the energy alignment and what's going on inside of them. And most people probably just don't think like that. I think that's very
Absolutely.
interesting perspective on it.
And I started working with crystals when I was about 7, but I didn't work with the metaphysical properties until much later. And I really think that if I didn't have that experience of kind of having some turmoil in my life, that wouldn't have given me the drive to want to heal, because I wouldn't need to heal, right, if I didn't have all these things in my past that I needed to work through. So it's kind of like that, using that energy to give something back or to help people, and that's really my intent. And I didn't realize that I had a gift to give people until people started giving me feedback and I started learning, and that's where, it takes a lot of self-love to run your own business, believe in yourself. But to answer your question about the support, I had a lot of people kind of cheering me on. And most of the time it was complete strangers, people who valued what I was doing. My family, not so much into crystals, don't understand my life path so much, but they're supportive and want me to be happy.
Yeah.
You said you moved to Austin when you first came to Texas, right?
Yeah.
How did it go in Austin? How long were you in Austin before coming to New Braunfels?
So I lived in Austin 6 months, and then I lived out at that school for 6 months, and then I actually moved to San Marcos and was coming over to New Braunfels at least weekly and building a community here before my shop even opened.
Yeah. I bet it was a big change from Seattle coming to a smaller town way down south.
It really,
Smaller.
It has been. Yeah, it's growing a lot. It's been a big change. I feel like I'm kind of on a mission here. I don't know I'll stay forever, but it's served me well in what my growth needed. I don't know that I could have opened the shop like I have now in Seattle. I think that would have been a struggle.
So when you brought your business here to New Braunfels, how did that start off for you when you first opened?
So it was like hit the ground running. I had to make a decision very quickly if I wanted to rent it a space, and it was there were a lot.
You have a
of
prime space, by the way. Let me just say,
like-
you are in an incredible location.
It's a great spot, and so what you might not know is I started 2 doors down in a 500 square foot space, and then I moved to where I'm at now.
Okay.
January last year.
Oh,
so,
very nice.
I
Yeah.
think I remember seeing that.
That house, though, she has a beautiful renovated old home in downtown New Braunfels. And in downtown New Braunfels, if you don't know, it's a bunch of different little unique places. It's
very lively.
So gorgeous. You've done a wonderful job with the space, so
Thank
congratulations.
you. I think the house really called me in. I used to walk those streets and work on manifesting a storefront like
for
that.
you, yeah.
And I think it was just coming, and I started my business maybe a little, the storefront a little sooner than I had anticipated. I was renting an office downtown San Marcos, running my business out of that, doing artisan markets every weekend, at least one a weekend, and seeing private clients at my office, and I was hustling. I mean,
Yeah.
they say like you trade the 9 to 5 in for 24/7, and that's
Exactly.
absolutely been the case.
Yeah. So let me just ask, because I feel like this is probably everyone's question, because when we talked about bringing you in here and stuff, people are like, well, are people really even into that? Let me tell you, her store is full of people all the time. So I was actually really shocked because I'm a native Texan, and I had no idea this many people down south would even be into something like that. So to see your store full of people at your events, thriving incredibly. Have you faced any stigmas down here? I mean, do you face any kind of backlash for doing what you do and having some of the options that you do in your shop?
I think that I do, but I don't hear about it so much. So some people have said, wow, you're so brave
the haters
to do
hate.
this. And well, yeah, and anytime you do something big, you're going to attract the haters. You're going to attract the people who support you, just all of that energy coming your way. There's just more than I've ever been able to handle ever in my life. And yes, we are very, very steady. We're busy in the shop. As far as the stigmas, people say, wow, you're brave to do this. I didn't realize I was walking into the wolf's den. I really thought that this was going to be a place where I could financially open a business. I could provide something that was a need that wasn't being met. And I did not know if people were going to show up. I just went based off of intuition that New Braunfels was going to be the place.
Yeah.
And I think that the people here called me in from far, far away.
Oh, I love that.
And the people who come in, they're so grateful to have this as an option, and they show up, right? We have a lot of community events. We do large artisan markets, and those markets bring in hundreds of people, and it's beautiful to watch the community grow, to watch friendships form, and also I see mothers and daughters forming bonds over what we're offering in the shop. It's really incredible.
Yeah, I've brought my kids in a few times. They're so into it. I think it's amazing that we get to share that kind of interest with each other.
And my daughter, I mean, even whenever I was growing up, absolutely loved crystals, rocks. I would always try to find like geodes. Anywhere I would go, I would just find like the sparkliest rock. Like I would pockets
I
full
had
of
a whole
rocks all
bucket
the
of
time.
rocks. I actually
would have been
loved
friends.
rocks. Yeah.
And my daughter, she's the same way. She's 5. She's walking around the store. She's like, "Oh my God, this is so pretty. This is so nice." Just she's enamored with your store.
Your daughter has more crystals than I did a year ago.
Yeah.
I love it. Well, I think
Spoiling
younger
her.
people are attracted to the frequency of the crystals because it is more pure, and they have been less tainted in this
Yeah,
world.
they have a
Wow.
thinner veil. They have a thinner veil. Have you never heard that
didn't even-
children are the ones that like can see the ghosts or spirits?
Your
or
aura, they can
it's
read
children
people.
and animals.
It's kind of crazy because I mean, yeah, I do hear a lot about that. And whenever they say like children can like you say like see ghosts and stuff like that, or just like anything. And I didn't think about it just because them being more pure. Once you become older,
as an adult, we're
you
like
start
more
seeing what the
programmed
world
into,
really
like,
is,
frequencies
and
and what you let in.
pretty.
Well, so we've had children come into this store. So I am in a house that's been over 100 years old.
Oh, I wouldn't doubt
Yeah, I
if
was
they'd
gonna say,
seen
tell us
some
a cool
doors
story.
open and
Tell
stuff
us
like
a
that.
story.
Yeah.
Same
It's very
families
older
own
homes.
it, so I know a little bit about the family. And unfortunately, the owner's mother passed this last winter, and within a week of her telling me that, there was a little girl in the store who said, she said, "I see a ghost, I see a ghost." And she's telling her mom, and I think people are kind of like, "Oh, don't say that." But we're actually maybe the one place in town, besides the ghost tour,
That's more
where
open to
that
it,
you
yeah.
can say that,
Yeah,
and
that's
we'll
okay,
just
yeah.
love you more.
Yeah, that's I guess that's what you want, right? That's
Well, I have had many customers tell me that there's something in the hallway, and that it's not a bad
There's a whole
feeling.
different feel in that hallway.
I mean,
and
this goes
I'm not
for
one that's ever
all
like had an
of-
experience like that, but I can feel the energy shift when you walk down that
definitely
little
a feeling.
hallway.
It goes for all of like downtown New Braunfels too. You can pretty much ask anyone that's been around in this town for quite a while. I think they even do like ghost tours, don't
Yeah,
they?
this
They
hotel
They
down
do.
here, it's
Yeah.
right by Muck and Fuss. I cannot remember.
Prince
It's
Solom's Hotel.
Yes.
Yeah, Prince
The
Solom's
Psalms
Hotel.
in.
And so last year we actually teamed up with the New Braunfels Ghost Tours and hosted our very own Empress Ghost Tour. It was just
Heck yeah! Dang, I didn't even know
That's
y'all
really
did
cool,
that.
yeah.
Well,
Tap
we
in.
planned to, so they guided us through, and it was just like a group of all of our customers, and we plan to do that again this spring before it gets too hot.
yeah.
But we have a lot of fun things coming up too with our spring equinox market, March 23rd. It's on the property, so we actually, a lot of people don't know this either, we have a really big backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't even see the backyard. I
It's
know
a
y'all have a really
whole-
big parking lot right next to y'all.
I've been to one of her markets and it's incredible. She has a huge backyard with tons of vendors and that thing is full of people. When
Really?
I went the first time, I was like, oh my God, that's when I was telling you I was so blown away by how many people were actually into it, because it was just incredible to see like hundreds of people in this one location, all about crystals and metaphysical things that you would think are just more like taboo, especially in South Texas.
Well, what I realized too when I did the artisan markets was that people were really interested in what I was doing, and I started doing more like metaphysical markets and finding my group that I fit in with. And so I met so many artists. So now that I know all of these lovely makers and mystics, tarot readers, palm readers, Cassiography.
They
which
come
is
with all kinds of stuff
tea
like
leaf reading.
woodwork, jewelry, plant holders, crochet
and-
things,
And
sun
so,
catchers.
so you're gonna be having
There's incredible.
you're gonna be having another one of
items.
these when you said?
So it's March 23rd. It's actually on the spring equinox, and so it's 11 to 4. So it's a daytime, alcohol-free event. Safe to bring your kids, and I just love watching the community come together. But it's people wear fairy wings and they dress up like they're going to the Ren Fair, especially for spring. And then when we do our October market, we call it All Hallows Market, and
We
that,
did see a lot of witches
There-
dressed up. There was a
people in
lot of cool people dressed up at that
costumes.
one.
Yeah, it's really wanted to be a place where you can nurture your inner child and reconnect with things that you forgot that you love.
Like reconnect with purity.
Exactly.
I was
yes.
actually going to say that earlier when you talked about tapping into what has prompted you to kind of like follow this dream of yours. You said that it's something that you've always been into as a kid. And I think that when you tap into something that you always had passion for as a child and you bring out that inner child and nurture that inner child, that brings you success. I'm a high believer in that. So
Absolutely
I think that's
agree.
incredible that you create a space for other people to kind of tap into that and bring that energy to life.
Well, and a lot of people say that, oh, I was really into crystals when I was a kid. And so now they're having a new relationship with the crystals. And my childhood, I was very into the fantasy realm. I loved fairies and princesses and Renaissance festivals. And when I brought that to life in my adulthood, it became a source of joy for me, and I think that radiated out and brought in the success. And when you're
I can
in
agree with that.
alignment, you know, the
feel like-
universe supports you.
I feel like people just they forgot that they were a child and they forget about their childhood. And it's just kind of, I don't know, having that safe space to kind of bring it back and just kind of.
Absolutely, and so that's a continued journey for me because I forget that I was a child sometimes when I'm like doing my taxes or, you know, like doing all the
Doing
things you
adulting.
need to do to run a
The mundane
business
adult
that
things.
you don't really know how to do until you get there. And then, because every day is different, and sometimes my day is just like, it's very, it's abstract and different, like no 2 days are alike, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But because I'm in the growth period, it can be a lot, and so I have to start really using the tools that
You've
that
learned
I
over
teach
time.
people
And
about.
yeah. Remembering what you say,
Yeah.
what
Well,
you do.
grounding and Reiki and connecting with other people and just slowing down a little bit.
I feel like that's what everyone needs to kind of do too, is just slow down. I feel like everyone's on the go and someone's on the phone.
That's
Wow.
a sign. Everybody needs to slow down.
The phone to stop and then just go back into that.
I think we'll talk about, you can go into talking about some of I'm going to ask you a little bit about what the benefits that crystals provide. You can talk about some of the crystals here on the table. And then I think we've already talked about all this. We've already kind of tapped into some events. And then we'll just talk about like what plans you have for the future.
Okay.
So we'll talk about the benefits and then what plans you have, and then we'll probably end it there.
Okay.
I think you've done great.
I'm deciding what if I were to tell you all.
Oh yeah, keep your secrets if you
No,
want to keep them a
I think
secret.
it's solid enough to put out there.
What?
Put it out into the world now.
Secrets don't make sense.
You have to wait.
Secrets don't make sense.
I want to know.
I keep forgetting that when I turn my head,
Yeah.
that I like move away from the mic.
I'm trying to be more mindful of that too. More intentional.
Right here?
Do you remember what you were talking about, Maddie?
I have no idea.
Slowing down.
Rewind.
Oh yeah, slowing down.
Yeah. I think everybody forgets to slow down.
Yeah, you're like, I think everybody.
Yep. But yeah, I know. I just feel like everyone just needs to kind of like slow down, like physically and mentally. Everyone's just kind of. I feel like everyone's not really present. Everyone's just kind of on.
hurry to get things done.
Exhibit A.
Thank you, Alabama.
Exactly. Not present in the moment.
Yeah, just.
It's true though. No, it is true. It is true. You're right about that. I always think about slowing down whenever it's like every time someone mentions slowing down, my brain directly goes to what Ferris Bueller says. What does he say when he says you don't stop to take a look at like everything going around a while, you might miss the cool things or whatever.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
saying he says. Or
Yeah, it's very
whatever.
cliche saying, but it's true. It's very, very true. Kind of like what you were saying earlier when you were walking around downtown, kind of like manifesting where you kind of wanted to open up something. I think that was a part of like you kind of just like taking a breather and just like walking around and trying to like just feel. You know what I
and
mean?
Also getting into a certain frequency. When we're always just like up here, you know, we're not going to
Stressed.
balance with anything that's, you know, grounding. We're not going to have that solid foundation. So I really am a believer in law of attraction. So if I'm always stressed
Me
out,
too.
I'm going to attract more stressful encounters. And when you were saying that, like when you took that walk, that's exactly what it is. When you see so much more when you're walking, but you can only go so fast, right? When you're in your car, you miss a lot. And so that speed kind of just like blots things out. And I think a lot of people just want to kind of get through to the next thing. And definitely guilty of that when I have an agenda that's longer than you could actually fit in a day.
True.
But it's like, where do I take that time to reset? Because I'm not going to be able to show up for all of those things in the capacity that I want to if I don't slow down, take a little time for myself. And I have a really strong morning routine. I get up at least 2 hours before I need to start my day, and just have that time to myself to center before I go out in the world.
Yeah, I used to always get to like work early just to have an hour to myself to like prepare, I guess. So I guess I can attest to that.
I think
That's really,
anybody
really well.
successful, if you hear their stories, they'll tell you they have a morning routine and set time aside for themselves to get themselves right, get their mind right, get their body right. You hear most successful people wake up super early and do workout routines and things like that, and ground in those thoughts, dreams, whatever they just had from the day before, release the stress, and move forward. So,
When, if you don't mind me asking, will be the anniversary of you having your shop?
So we just had our second anniversary
You did?
in January for the shop. So it was 2 years in the store as the Empress, and then 5 years as Altar Space. And so with Altar Space, sometimes I take that name on the road. I'll do expos. I have one actually coming up in Houston next month.
What's the difference between Altar Space and Empress?
So Altar Space is where now I do off-site events, but I also sometimes will come in and do a workshop at a yoga center or some kind of spiritual center if they invite me in to give a talk or talk about crystals usually. And then also I do spiritual life coaching and Reiki. When I have my books open for Reiki, I use the name Altar Space for that business as well. And really what happened was my social media really expanded as Altar Space, and so I wanted to get awareness for the store through that avenue, so I decided to keep both. And it's really helped somewhat to kind of differentiate. So the shop is just so much more than crystals, and Altar Space I'll always love, and I actually have a sign with the Altar Space on the storefront, so they're kind of the same.
We did
Yeah,
a
I've
picture
seen
with
I've
it
seen it.
yesterday.
Yeah, I've seen it. I was a little curious about it, so now I understand. That's nice. That's really awesome. Are you looking to expand either one of those two, or?
Well,
Have
in the
any-
future, I would love to open another shop like the Empress in another city. That's going to be like down the road when I really like have things more figured out. Really, only 2 years as a storefront without some corporate manuscript of like this is how things work. We're figuring it out as we go. So when we have something really in our hands that I feel like I could kind of open up somewhere else with some kind of formula. I think that'll be a goal, but what I'm really excited about right now is that in the near future, this spring, as long as all the permits can go through and everything, I plan to open a tiny mobile shop right next to the store. So funny thing about this little trailer was that was going to be my original storefront. That was going to be Altar Space. I wanted to have a mobile boutique that I could kind of permanently park somewhere and have people walk in and shop the tiny shop. And because
You have way too much to be in a tiny trailer. Let me
well,
just say.
now I do. Now I do.
Yeah, you have a lot.
At the time, I didn't, and so it's
Yeah.
just been growing and growing. And but I want to do something with the space, and I had several ideas that I've kind of like thought about. And now that it's on the property, we're working with the city to get permits and get everything really ready to go. It's actually going to be an antique shop, so. I'm sure you've noticed
Ooh.
some antiques in my
Yeah.
store.
Yes, most definitely.
So that's another passion of mine. I love antiques. I love anything that's just old, has a story,
Yeah.
has character, was built well, it's not plastic. And so I'm people ask me all the time, where did you get this? Are these for sale? And, you know, I really thought, it just kind of came to me, I should sell altar adornments in there. So they're going to be
Ooh.
smaller items. So there'll be antiques that really could fit on your altar with your crystals.
I like
I
that.
love that. Yeah, you
I
have
like
a
that.
ton of really great things. Now, what I want you to do for us is to give us a little education session. Can you talk about some of the crystals that we have here today that you brought with you?
Absolutely. So we'll start with this big, beautiful green crystal we have right here. So this is malachite, and malachite is gorgeous. This is always found in South Africa. When you have those like swirls, that's like highly desirable. And so this is known as the guardian of the heart. So this crystal is wonderful for going through transformations of the heart. So anytime you are wanting to like make a shift in your heart space, this is going to be one that's going to support you through that.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
So really the crystals line up with the colors of the chakras. So green being the heart chakra. And so that's an easy way to
Wait,
kind
hold
of
on, hold on.
More
Go
for
back
you,
to that.
Reiki.
Hold on.
We're
Go
circling
back
back
to
to
that.
Reiki now.
Hold on. So, you said the crystals or the colors line up with the chakra?
the colors of the crystals.
The colors of the crystals line up with the chakra.
Yep.
Green being the heart.
The heart space. So
Interesting.
we're like a rainbow. So we have purple as the crown. So like the bracelet you got at the shop yesterday, crown chakra. So that's going to open you
King.
up to divine energy. King.
No, sorry.
That's one way to go about it. So, as you go down, we're going down to red as the root chakra. So we have blue apatite, and this is gorgeous. I love the color of the blue apatite. This is going to be a throat chakra stone. It's also really great for manifestation. So it's going to be one you want to be in a good place in your mind when you're working with the blue apatite, because it's going to amplify whatever you're thinking
thoughts.
about. And what
Oh,
you're
so
bringing in.
not necessarily good. It could be something not so good
If you
you're.
know what you're doing, it's good.
Ah,
There are
okay.
other blue stones that you could use. Actually, there's blue lace agate right here. You could use that if you're wanting to just work on your communication skills, or you're about to have a hard conversation. It's going to be soothing and just calming. Even when you look at it, you're just like, I feel good. Like, it's just a calm energy.
I carry that one with me.
It does look
everywhere.
very calm.
And then there's a labradorite here. This is actually kind of a nice size for a labradorite, because a lot of times I'll put it on my third eye in a meditation when I'm laying down, because this is a third
Good
eye
to know.
opener, but it's also a highly protective stone. It has what's called flash on it. A lot of times it's blue.
I like Flash's blue. It looks like holographic. It's really cool.
Oh,
It
really? Okay.
does. You can also find purple flash, orange flash. Those are a little bit more rare, but we do have some in the store. And then classic tiger eye. This is ancient talisman of good fortune, good luck. People used to travel with this. This is one I like to keep in the car. So it's protective, but it's also known to enhance your abundance. Along with citrine. So there's natural citrine, and then there's heat-treated citrine. And so this is going to be an abundance attractor. I like to put it in the left back corner of my house when you're walking in the
I've
front
heard
door.
that. I actually
It's
just
a
heard
feng
that.
shui
not too long ago.
thing.
Yeah.
I worked with a feng shui expert a few years ago to talk about where you would put the crystals, and we had this kind of map of the house.
What's feng shui?
Feng shui is how you
I always
have
hear that word, but I don't think I've ever
design,
gotten a
like the way
definition.
things are designed. So like they say, like don't put a mirror in front of in your bedroom, or like in front of your bed, or something like that. There's like different things that they tell you what to do to bring in better energy, and what not to do, because it could block some energy or like ruin the energy.
It's a flow of energy in the house. So if you have something
They teach you how to
that's
design the
blocking
house.
the flow, a simple change in that could help you with your relationships. It could help you with your abundance flowing in.
Super cool. Yeah.
So we have also aragonite. This one is this orange. This is a raw, naturally occurring aragonite. It's kind of forms like a little starburst. And this one's going to be great for confidence. I would really say that this is going to be a sacral chakra stone, which is all about that creativity and just really stepping into your power.
Has there
I've been
ever
carrying
has
that
there
one a
ever
lot
been an
lately.
instance where you kind of like don't necessarily want one of them with you? Like, let's say you're doing something that's, you know, against what one of those has, or what a crystal is like bringing,
So there's
or
a lot of like opinions out there. There's a lot of different crystals that pair really well together. What I would say is if you're going to go into, let's say, like a hard conversation, or you are feeling like really nervous about something, it's just like you wouldn't want to drink caffeine before you go into a conversation that you're going to be nervous. Maybe I wouldn't maybe bring an energy amplifying stone like clear quartz. I would use that when you're really like kind of on your own, wanting to set intentions and see things clearly. But I might bring something that would be like a grounding stone in those conversations to help with like calming anxiety and absorbing any fears.
yeah.
So then also we have amethyst here. So this is a raw amethyst. And so amethyst is a crown chakra stone. And it's also going to give off like really calming effects. So this is going to be a good one to like have by your bedside or somewhere where you just want to have like some peace, but also opening up the crown to listening to divine messages, anything that might come through in the dream state.
Well, we love that. You have given everyone a little more insight to your world, and
Most
this is a
definitely.
world that I absolutely love, and I've dove headfirst into, especially this last year. I've gotten really into this stuff. So I love your shop. You make it very easy for people to come in, learn all about it. She has little bowls that carry all these different crystals, and they have little cards that tell you everything about it. You just make it very easy for someone who wants to be a starter or even just walk in and be curious. They're able to learn a lot when they come to your store. And I think that's really beautiful that you make it very accessible to pretty much anyone, expert or
That
not.
was one thing that I kind of didn't really know about. When you go in there, if you're someone like me who doesn't necessarily have any sort of experience with a shop like that, she does make it very easy. Like, you have like little cards right next to pretty much everything that basically says what each crystal offers and stuff like that. So for someone like me who is a little ignorant towards stuff like that, it was really it really helped me out. So it was really cool.
I'm happy to hear that. That was definitely one of my biggest priorities, was making this accessible. I knew that I was moving into an area where it wasn't a big thing, and I didn't want people to feel intimidated. I want them to feel like they're part of what we're doing. And when people come in and say, like, I'm just getting started, those are my favorite people, because I just see so much potential for them to like grow and watch their journey unfold. I've had this younger customer come in to buy crystals very often, and she just told me that she started herbalism school, and that's what I want to see. I want to be the person that I needed when I was young, and not feel like, oh, well, I can't do that because I'm not this or that, and just feel really accepted, because I think that if we just had better communication in this world, and we put our hand out first and said hello, and what do you know, who are you? What are you doing here? We want to start those conversations with the customer so they feel seen and heard.
Yeah, well, you're doing a great job, and I think that your business just has a lot of success here on the forefront. Any astrology people out there know we're in the age of Aquarius now, so I definitely think that's going to bring a lot of enlightenment to a ton of people and expanding people's thoughts towards different modalities and just being more open-minded towards.
And it's all about like health and
Spirituality.
wellness too. You know what I mean?
And
This
health
is
and
what
wellness,
we're
exactly.
about as well. So I think the two really connect with what you do and what we offer here at the store. So it's really cool to see the dynamic of the customers. 'Cause I feel like a lot of customers that come here wouldn't mind going to your shop and shopping with you.
And I
'Cause
love that y'all have crystals in your case at the shop. That was the first thing
We get
I
asked
noticed,
about
of
it a
course.
lot.
yeah, and we have so many people ask us if they're
They're
for
like,
sale.
can we buy it? No.
It's an easy way to find your people. When you put a crystal out, and another crystal person's going to talk about it for sure.
And some people even know more about them than I do. They'll be like, "Oh yeah, that's malachite," and I'm like, Well, I know it now, but you know.
I love it. Well, definitely here to educate people. We also bring in, we have classes and workshops at the shop, and then we also have readers come in. So we have tarot readers, we have astrologers come in, so you can learn all about that transit that we're in, and Pluto into Aquarius. And
When will
It's
your
a big
next
deal,
class
guys.
be?
Yeah.
so we just had a candle making class this past
Oh,
weekend.
candle making.
We do have our March events out on our Instagram right now.
Where can we find you, by the way?
So
Give us some of your handles.
So the Empress NBTX is going to be all of the shop happenings. So everything that's going on.
And
at
that's
the
on
shop,
Instagram?
That's on Instagram. We do have a Facebook page as well, just the Empress NBTX. And then my Alter Space page on Instagram is just Alter Space Crystal. And then I also have a Facebook page, Alter Space Crystals. There's a TikTok. You can find out all the information. We do tend to have a lot of like scammer accounts, people trying to like pretend to be us and give you a reading online, which is unfortunate for a lot of metaphysical shops right now. But we will never do an online reading. We always do them in person. If you do want to reach out and get a reading remotely, we can absolutely refer you to someone who does that.
Yeah, you work with a lot of different people, and I see that you bring in new ones all the time, which is really cool. Each month you post a new calendar with different dates of different things that you're hosting. So she does little full moon things, new moon rituals. You do a lot of stuff at the shop. So if you guys are interested, definitely go check her out. Give her a follow and jump in her shop. Go check it out. Go see what you can find. There's a lot of really cool things. You
Yeah.
might just be more interested.
I believe it's
than
on
you think.
Castell Street, right? Downtown New Braunfels, correct?
Yeah, right next to the convention center.
Heck yeah.
All right, guys.
yeah.
Well, you know where to find her. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you
and
so
we
much.
really love sharing this
Thanks for
message
being
with
here.
everybody.
This
Yeah.
is so much fun. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
Heck yeah.
absolutely.
You guys go check out her shop, man. It's really, really cool. Like I said, I got a chance to check it out for the first time a couple days ago. Yesterday, as a matter of fact, blew me away. So really, 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 really nice. So
Yeah.
thank you for being
Thanks,
here.
Richard.
Yeah, y'all stay tuned and we'll catch you at the next one. See ya.
Later, guys.